Hey, I forget who it was, but somebody told me I should show the mineral drill against a Masters League player, and I should warn you guys, drill, it's right in the title. This is not a build, it won't work against a Masters League opponent, except for sometimes when you just get lucky. So, the conditions that need to be set for this to work against a good player are that, first, you can't notice until it's too late. And second, he can't have a bunch of automatic AoE stuff. So, for example, siege tanks and a choke point behind bunkers. Or just Colossus in general. Zerg has a hard time with this because they don't have any automatic AoE. They're banelings, like, you really kind of have to use banelings well, and Infestors, fungal growth. I mean, fungal growth is crazy good. It's arguably better than the other two style, like siege tank and Colossus. But you got to use it, and you got to use it actively and well. And you can miss a fungal, and you can die with your infestors before you get a fungal off, and all that kind of stuff. So Zerg has a much harder time dealing with things that require AoE than Protoss or Terran. So the idea here, I'm hopefully not going to give everyone motion sickness by being locked in first person mode. But the idea here is to not get or spend gas. So we're just going to try to maximize our mineral income and then build 10 racks right off. And keep up on supply depots and SCVs so that we never miss an SCV production cycle, and we never supply block ourselves, and then just try to never miss any marine production cycles either. So soft cap saturation on one base is 16 workers. So our goal is to get 16 workers on our main, and then start our natural immediately afterwards, so that we never have to go over max saturation. Like, we want our natural to be up before we get our 23rd worker, so that we can just transfer workers down to the low ground and then still be mining at full capacity with only minerals. To do this, you obviously have to build the second command center quite early, and you also have to build it in place. You can't be floating it anywhere, because that adds like a minute or more to the amount of time it takes to get it in place. So yeah. Simple, yellow, different. The reason I call this a mineral drill, the reason I call it a drill, is because it helps you to work on your macro, to work on never supply blocking and never missing SCV queues and all that kind of stuff, without having to think too deeply about which units to make and what percentage of your gas should go into siege tanks versus upgrades and all the other crazy, annoying complications that make the game of StarCraft so hard. If you're like really tired, or if you're watching a movie, or and you don't want to go ladder, instead you just want to go do a custom and practice your macro with your brain half turned on, this is a good way to practice your macro. But don't try to win games with this, guys. It's not meant to be used in the ladder. It's a drill. So basically, first priority is depots, second priority is SCVs, third priority is spending money on the racks that you already have, and after that is new buildings. So new buildings can be more racks, usually is. It can be more command centers, it can be gas geysers, tech labs, all that kind of stuff. So that means that until you've done the first three, you're never going to build any new buildings. So I'm up to 9 racks, one more, and I'm at 10. I usually shoot for 10 or 11. The benchmarks you wanna check yourself on. We're getting up on 10 minutes here. 10 minutes. 44 workers. So 44 workers at 10 minutes is the benchmark that I've said a million times when talking about TvZ, but also for this. And army spending quite low, because again, you build this many racks, that's a whole bunch of money you didn't spend on your army. Same with SCVs. You build this many SCVs in an extra command center, that's a whole bunch of money you didn't spend on your army. So I really only spent 2,500. Benchmark for a really heavy army play is 3,500, so I'm, pretty small army at 10 minutes. But you'll notice I'm going to hit 200 unit space at 14 minutes. So that's really what you're shooting for. Get to 200 unit space, look at the clock. If it was after 14 minutes, start over, try again. So this is just a way to make sure that you're capable of keeping up on really simple, the simplest possible macro, and just getting straight to 200 unit space at 14 minutes, you know, bam, like bam in the face. I am setting myself up, getting quadruple gas, setting myself up to transition into something more reasonable, like factories and starports and stuff. But I'll hit 200 unit space before any of that stuff comes out. So really, if you just want to try the drill, see if you can hit 200 and then stop. Don't make the engineering base, don't make the factory, don't make quadruple gas. Just get double gas and use it for infantry upgrades, or single gas even. Notice my money's quite low. It's just a macro drill, man. See if you can keep your money low when your income is crazy huge. $2,500 of income at 13 minutes is quite significant, man. Significant. I like when John Malkovich calls someone an insignificant. I forget what movie that is. Anyway, when you're close to 200 unit space, set your rally point somewhere near your opponent and just move into them. Make sure to pay more attention to your macro than your micro. Just move. Maybe you'll win, maybe you'll lose, but you don't care. You just want to make sure that you keep making Marines and you keep making, you know, whatever it is that you want to make back home. So this I found extremely funny, is he managed to fungal growth every one of my Marines once. Isn't that crazy? So all of my Marines are in the red, but none of them died. And then he's like, oh, and he suicides his infestors and quits. That's pretty crazy. If he didn't have health bars turned on, man, this would be a much more intimidating sight. That's a heck of a lot of almost dead Marines. Like I said, I do this a lot, and I don't always win with it. I kind of rarely win with it. It's not a good strategy. It's not meant for winning. But it's fun, and it's a good way to practice your macro. Bam! Plus, Insanity was nice, and he was a good sport, so thanks for showing this to the people's Insanity. Mineral Drill!